Thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the Symantec Sales Expert Training for Symantec Data Loss Prevention Part 2, version 11.5, Data Loss Prevention for Tablets. Let's first start with an overview of Symantec Data Loss Prevention for Tablets, what it does and how it benefits your customers, see how it fits into the existing DLP suite of products, and finally review why customers buy Symantec Data Loss Prevention. Symantec Data Loss Prevention for Tablets, or DLP for Tablets, is a new product offering that extends the market-leading data loss prevention solution that Symantec provides to the world's most popular computing tablet, the iPad. Your customers can now say yes to the newest endpoint, secure in the knowledge that the confidential data on it remains protected. By monitoring email, web communications, and app use, you can prevent personally identifiable information and intellectual property from leaving your organization through the iPad, including through cloud-based applications such as Facebook, Twitter, and Dropbox. Transparent to users until they mishandle confidential information, Data Loss Prevention for Tablets can also educate your iPad users through configurable, real-time notifications on which security policy was violated, the confidential information that was involved, and any appropriate next steps that need to be taken. DLP for Tablets provides comprehensive coverage across the major threat vectors our customers are worried about, namely corporate and personal email, web communications, and selected app use. It does this by directing all tablet communications through a secure VPN back to the corporate network, where traffic can be inspected for security policy violations by the DLP Tablet Prevent server. It's an agentless solution, so users don't even notice it's working unless they mishandle sensitive information. It works not only within the confines of your customer's environment, but it also works when the user is accessing information over Wi-Fi and 3G connections away from the office. And more importantly, it supports full business use of the device. Our approach allows users to access all of the data and applications they need without requiring the labor-intensive sandboxing of data or preventing sensitive data from even reaching the device. And even though DLP for Tablets is a new product, it is also a fully integrated module within the Symantec DLP suite, and as such is able to take advantage of all of the technical advances and advantages that Symantec has been providing to its DLP customers for years, including the ability to use all of the different detection technologies that we provide, such as IDM, EDM, and vector machine learning, its common policy engine, so that we can deploy the same policy that we deployed in storage or network, we can deploy that against the tablet computers now, as well as our market-leading remediation capabilities, and being able to move from incident to resolution quicker than any other solution that's out there. So with Symantec Data Loss Prevention for Tablets, your customers can finally say yes to today's newest endpoint, secure in the knowledge that their company's valuable information remains protected. So why should people buy DLP for tablets? Well, Symantec invests more than anyone else in DLP research and development, as well as customer service. With over 160 dedicated development engineers, Symantec has the largest DLP research and development staff in the business. Symantec is also consistently cited by analysts as the leading solution. Symantec has been cited as having the highest-rated enterprise DLP solution and being the leader by a country mile by independent analysts. Symantec has been cited as the leading solution by analysts since they started tracking the data loss prevention market in 2006. And also, Symantec is chosen more often by customers across the board. According to IDC's latest market data, Symantec Data Loss Prevention holds a larger share of the market than the next two competitors combined, and almost the same market share as the next three competitors combined. Symantec is chosen by the world's largest customers by an overwhelming margin. Symantec Data Loss Prevention is used by 9 of the 10 top U.S. banks, 9 of the 10 top U.S. insurance companies, 4 of 5 top healthcare providers, 4 of 5 top credit card brands, 4 of 5 top entertainment media companies. And finally, we're pleased that Symantec data loss prevention is used by 46 of the Fortune 100 companies. So how do we go about qualifying an opportunity for DLP for tablets? Well, there's a couple different conditions we can look for. First one being enterprises that are considering using tablet computers. According to the Apple CFO back in April, 75% of Fortune 500 is already using or piloting iPads within their organization. Another opportunity that you want to look for would be enterprises that are struggling to deal with this bring your own device issue. And this is where employees are coming in and saying, hey, I've got a new iPad. I want to be able to connect to the systems. I want to be able to connect to the applications. I want to be able to use my new toy. Well, there has to be some way to provide a level of security for those situations to those organizations, because when those people leave, so do their tablet computers. Another opportunity to look for would be tablet users that have access to confidential information. And that's going to be the same thing as we talk to any of our other customers in dealing with DLP situations. If they have confidential and sensitive information, if they're accessing it on an endpoint, in this case the iPad, that has to be addressed. Other instances would be enterprises that must secure data to comply with regulations. One of the things that auditors are not going to forgive is the fact that you had a data breach because it involved an iPad or a tablet computer. They don't care where that data leakage comes from. They have to protect that data to comply with these regulations. So if they are implementing iPads within their environment, they're now able to address that from a compliance aspect as well. And then from a vertical, we're seeing an awful lot of tablet, computer, and iPad adoption in the healthcare industry for doctors making rounds, for interfacing with the different patient applications. And we're also seeing financial services, mainly because for all the same reasons for the other products that we sell, they have the most to lose. So what are other products within the Symantec portfolio that you can leverage in dealing with DLP for tablets? Well, encryption is a strong one. Now, the same way that we have encryption products that complement the different threat vectors that Symantec data loss prevention already addresses, data at rest, data in motion, and endpoint, but they also now provide an encryption reader for the iPad, so you can leverage that as well. User authentication products, actually we have 2 ways of addressing tablet computers. One is to allow an organization to turn your mobile device into a one-time password generator. So it actually acts as the token and provides you the challenge value that you have to enter in. Another way of addressing user authentication and dealing with tablets is to make use of the managed PKI services and provide the device's certificates for stronger authentication. And then lastly, Symantec Enterprise Vault. Data loss prevention can be used to inspect email for specific content, and based on that content, can provide information to the Symantec Enterprise Vault for policy-driven archiving. So we can say we discovered this kind of data within this email, and so I'm now going to communicate to Enterprise Vault based on that. Here is the archiving. This is how long we should archive this data for. So these are different ways that you can address tablet computers with Symantec products. So now let's look at the competitive landscape and talk about some of our competitors and what it is that they do and some of the approaches that they take. WebSense, which is one of our top 3 standard DLP competitors, does not actually provide any on-tablet data loss prevention coverage. Instead, what they do is they address this from a reverse proxy standpoint. They are able to go out and say that, well, we're going to inspect all the email that might be sent to an iPad or to a tablet computer. And if it's confidential, we're going to block that transmission. Well, that doesn't work for many use cases because executives who want to use iPads and tablet computers in the organization are also going to want to have all of the information that they need. They're not going to want to have only certain information that's on their computer that's in their office and less sensitive information that's on their iPad. It just doesn't support the business case. Vertices, which we've been hearing a lot about of late, when you come to talking about tablet computer DLP, they're actually looking at the email, protecting email by leveraging agents on the ActiveSync and BlackBerry enterprise servers so that they're able to inspect the email that gets sent out from a tablet computer. The problem with that is there's no off-network coverage. So when one of these users is in a coffee shop or in an airport and using somebody else's network, there's no control over that. And there's no coverage for web communications or any of the application usage. So it's a very limited application to the tablet computer. EMC, an RSA solution, actually is also providing protection for corporate email through the Microsoft ActiveSync or Outlook web access. So again, the same problems exist. That's only handling email. It's only happening when I'm within their environment. There's no off-network coverage. There's no coverage for web or application use. McAfee, which is another one of our top three competitors, has what they refer to as the Enterprise Mobility Management solution. And they made a big deal about coming out with this, and they were talking about how it addresses smartphones and tablets. But if you actually go in and look at it, they are stating that DLP is something that they are hoping to add to this in the future. So they really have no solution as of now. And then the last competitor that I have on this slide is Zenprise. This is an example of a very small company that got a lot of play out of, we have a DLP solution for the iPad. And really what it came down to is it only supports access to SharePoint. So from my iPad computer, I can access back into the corporate network. I can access SharePoint or Office 365 data. But that's it. There's no coverage over email. There's no coverage over the web. There's no coverage over app use. So what you're seeing is that Symantec, data loss prevention for tablets, provides the industry's most comprehensive solution for data loss prevention on the iPad and other tablet computers. So let's talk a little bit about next steps and some additional resources where you can go to get additional information about this release. Well, first thing you can do is download the DLP for Tablets sales tools, and that is out on Score, and that contains data sheets, contains white papers, it contains presentations, it also contains the new first meeting deck, and that has a specific slide in there for DLP for tablets. And then some of the tools that we have created for communicating with our end users and our channel partners. You can also access training webcasts that we provided back in November. And then additional resources which are available to you on Score. ESG wrote a third-party white paper entitled DLP for Tablets, an Intelligent Security Solution, and that addresses the need for this. It addresses the different approaches that companies can take, and then it comes out and basically endorses the approach that Symantec has taken. And then the Symantec DLP family products, where you can get this information as well as information on all the other modules within the DLP suite. There's a very nice high-level overview of Symantec Data Loss Prevention for Tablets. It's a multimedia video. You can access that, as well as the external launch webcast, where you'll hear from product manager Rich Danliker, and he gives a lot of great details. So all of those areas will provide you a great deal of information. So what are the main points that you should be taking away from today's training? Well, first off, that Symantec's DLP for Tablets allows the CISO to finally say yes to a new technology such as the iPad or other tablet computers. And they can do this because they're now confident that the data on those devices remain secure. DLP for tablets is also the first comprehensive solution to address this problem, and it addresses it across more threat channels than any other solution. And by being the first to market, this again extends Symantec's reputation and leadership in the DLP space. And even though we've been talking specifically about DLP for tablets as an individual module, it actually enhances the competitiveness of the rest of the DLP product suite. Organizations will look to us to address this iPad or tablet computer problem, but you can also use this to leverage it into showing them the rest of the product suite and addressing the rest of their threat vectors. And the last piece that we want you to pull away is, even though that this is a brand new product, it is able to leverage the technical advantages that Symantec has been providing its data loss customers since its inception. Thank you for joining us today. I wish you the best of luck in learning more about Symantec's data loss prevention for tablets, as well as the rest of the data loss prevention product suite, and I wish you good selling.